Alright, so we're going to give this a shot and see if I can kind of iron out some of the questions that we had last night on our call and just a little bit about the Bridge app. So, what you're seeing is my iPad screen, and I did mess with it a little bit. So, when you look in the center and you see like the A frame, like I just mistyped that, or misclicked that, I should say. So, when you open up, if you're going to come to a new day, and I'll come to Friday, you're probably going to see right your at home training at the top. And again, yours will say Unity at Home Training 5 days. It won't have the copy. Some of these are just slightly different so that I didn't mess up what anyone else was going to do. So to do a workout, right, I would click that. It would open it up. And then you see my list. I have never done any workouts. I actually just added myself as a client today instead of like a coach so I can see what you guys are seeing. Okay. So today, like we did Metabolic B. So I would click on that one there. And then there's my Metabolic B workout. Okay, so I can kind of scroll through and see what is on the deck for today. If I click start down at the bottom, give it a second just to load, and then I come back, here is my ramp. Okay, so as you go, you can play each video, right? So like if I play, just click on the video itself, it'll bring up the video and start playing that. Obviously for this one, Jordan's talked about his prone crocodile breathing, and close out and just tap off the video to get that to go away, right? If you click on it, whoop, that's video again. If you click on the bottom part with the arrow, it'll bring you over, and then you'll see a little check mark, you'll see the reps, and any history you had with the exercise there. So this is stuff like if you have recording of weights that you did or something like that, right? That would all show up here. If you have any comments, right? Past comments, so say you had a question, right? It would show up here as well. Okay, so if I did this, I would just press the arrow, it would turn yellow, and you can just see I can tap all the way through and then go from there, right? If I click up at the top, ramp, and go back, here's just a nice long list, right? Anything I didn't want to do, so say like for whatever reason I ran out of time, and I didn't finish, never do this, never do this, but say I didn't finish for the sake of this video my ramp, you can just swipe across at the top and it'll go to the next thing. So just put your hand like right where it says like core activation in that dark gray there, and you can just swipe across, right? So here's my core. Today we did bird dogs, we did side planks and knee drives, and then we did jump squats, right? So again, I would just tap down. You see at the side plank knee drive, there's that 1 in the corner. So if you tap that little red dot, it just says bent knee if necessary. So that's any notes that we put in as coaches that like, hey, you might want to know this, right? So pretty neat stuff as far as that goes. And then the same things apply. Like if you had any questions or anything, it'll bring them all up here. Let's take, I'm going to swipe through here again, right? If you do check all the boxes actually before I swipe through, so say I just checked the arrow, right? Did my first set, did my second, it will automatically move you through once you complete the block, right? So it's a good way to kind of keep track. You can also tap up in the right corner, right where it says set 1, followed across. You can tap that one instead of checking all the way through if you need to as well. Kind of nifty because then you don't have to tap every single exercise, especially if you're moving between a couple of them. All right. So again, down here, so now we get into our workout. So if I tap on here, I can actually bring up a little timer. So down in the bottom left-hand corner, if you tap that right there, you can go ahead and press play, and it'll count you down into it, and then it'll count you down into your working set, and it'll beep and buzz and go from there. So you can either pause and then reset. So it'll automatically bring up your 20-second timer for you, so you don't have to watch a clock, and it will beep at the end. So kind of nifty there. So say you want to add, so here's your past comments, right? Say you want to add a comment, so you stepped instead of hopped. So I'm going to press this bottom plus sign down here, turn to an X, right? There's all these different options. So the top one is a camera. You can actually screen record yourself doing it. Oop, okay. So if I go, I see the same thing. See? Now, little inception there, right? As we go. Okay? Please screen record yourself and post that up in there, right? And then I just got a notification as a coach, and likely a video was sent to us, and we can see it. All right? So the next one down, little comment section. So say you want to type something in here. So you said stepped instead of hopped. Perfect. And then you would just click post. You'll see that post up if I go to comments, right? Stepped instead of hopped. And I, on my coach's end, because I'm plugged in on my phone via coach, and I just got a notification that said, hey, there's a new comment left. Go check it out. Okay? So now you can see that you hopped instead of, or you stepped instead of hopped, etc. Right now, as we're not in the gym, this is also super nice to be able to log your weight. So I know we were talking about it last night, excuse me, on our call with tracking like EMOM sets and AMRAP sets and how many you got and bands that you might have used for pull-ups and things like that, right? So kind of a cool way. And then you can look back in your comments and just see like, oh, this is where I left that. And then the final option is just the camera. So if you had to take a picture of anything, say you had a friend or family member right near you, you can take a picture of a position or something like that, and we would see that. So you can take that picture and then add the comment and just say, hey, like, question, whatever you may have, right? So I did that. Again, if you check, it'll move you right to the next one, so you can just keep tapping your way through until you get through all of your sets, right? So pretty nifty. I'm going to just skip through here because I'm not going to do all of them, right? At the end of the workout and the beginning of the workout, so I'm going to come all the way to start. Whoop, is before. So I already started workout. Since I'm not on today, it's not going to ask me. And I'll show you the pre-survey in the beginning. But at the end of the workout, it'll actually tell you your time, right? So you can actually edit this. So if for whatever reason, right, you were watching videos, you got distracted, like, I don't know what it is, you can say, like, oh, I worked out for 60 minutes, and then you can say how hard it was. So you can say, like, oh, it was pretty hard, 60 minutes, and then submit. Workout complete, nice job, right? And then it'll show you, there we go, RPE times duration analysis. So RPE is rate of perceived exertion, which is essentially what they just asked you, like how hard is it on a scale of 1 to 10. And then they'll rate you on RPE times how long you actually worked at, right? So kind of give it an average. And then you can kind of see over the course of the time, like if I had more than one workout in here for this day, right? So if I did metabolic B last week and then metabolic B this week, we can see how long it took me and then how I felt during it then as well. So kind of nifty, and if you just press that check mark, it'll go away. So you can see, like, since I swiped through, I only did like 49% of the volume, which is the reps, right? And then 43% of the sets. So if you skipped anything, it'll kind of show you how much you did. Now, since I did that for today, it didn't ask me, but each day there's a performance log. And typically, when you open to start your first workout of the day, and I'm not sure, again, this is not my first workout of the day because I've been messing around with this a little bit, it will, there you go, it will ask you about your performance log. So this is kind of nifty. It'll tell us, like, overall how sore you are, your sleep, your quality of sleep, nutrition, hydration, right? Just on a scale of 1 to 10. So 10 is super great. 1 is not so great. Okay, so kind of cool. Very nice. You don't have to fill out all of these. So say like, oh, I don't want to put in my body weight every day. I don't weigh myself every day, right? I might not do that. And then on the coach's aspect, what this does is it just gives us a couple metrics to then check in with you and say, hey, like, hey, sleep quality hasn't been great. Like, what's been affecting that? Or like, hey, I saw you've been getting way more water recently. You've rated your hydration much more. That's awesome. What have you been doing, right? So it just gives us a little bit of like guidance from a not workout perspective to kind of check in with you on those. Cool? So coming back home, I think that's most of the questions that we had on the workout itself. Terry had a good one, and I'll tag her in the post when I post the video. But Terry had a good one about deleting stuff. I have not found a way to delete something. So like I clicked this A-frame purposely to try and delete it. And I have not found a way to do so. So if you make a mistake or anything, I would just leave it. If you want to add a general comment, you can come to the bottom and click the little comment thing again. It's that third one from the thing. And you can see your comments on all of your workouts. But then you can also click the plus at the top and just add a general comment. So if you have a question for us and you don't want to send us an email, if you have a question about the app specifically, it's probably best to leave it in here so that we can see that right away. Okay? If you look at the second one, so I went from they kind of changed colors at the bottom there. So the second one over, this just gives you an overview of all the things you did. Like I said, today I have done like no workouts, right? I'm a brand new client, so to speak, in here. So there's not much here, but it'll show you like your analytics over the course of the day, what I did, the exercises I performed. So you can kind of tap through and see your progress that way too, which is kind of nifty as well. So back to my calendar, there's this little plus in the corner. If there's ever a day, so like Wednesday, for example, let me get out of here. Wednesday, like there's no workout scheduled for Wednesday. It's our regen day, right? So in the bottom corner, you can just click that plus, and then we can log an activity. And then I can scroll through all these activities, and then go from there. I'm not sure. Let's see if I can add one. It does not appear that you can create your own. So you're at the whim of all the ones that they have listed here, right? It's a pretty all-encompassing list. If you're not sure what it is, I would just click other, right? And then it'll bring up how hard it was and the duration. So kind of that same thing they were talking about before, the RPE times duration. They're going to give you that score so you can see how long you worked. So if it's a regen day, like it should be fairly easy. And then say I did it for 60 minutes. 60 minutes, and I submit. And then if I go into my score here, it should, oh, it wasn't, there we go. So it'll say like other activity, all the things I've done, right? So pretty cool. And it'll kind of log it into there. Sometimes it just takes a second to actually log in as well, right? So going from there, the last thing I want to point out is over here. This is just your profile, right? So it's all in here. But all workouts that are assigned to you should show up right away. And then you'll be able to see kind of right from your screen. So that's just your profile page if you want to edit anything. I think that was all the questions that we had from our meeting yesterday, and just in general, kind of a walkthrough of the Bridge app. So if you have any other questions, you can leave them in the comments below, and I will get back to those as quickly as possible. But that just kind of gives you an overview of kind of walking through everything and going from there. So I hope this helped you guys. Like I said, if you have any other questions, just leave them in the comments below, and I'll get back to you on those. So thanks, guys.